All right. Um, I'll admit this is a second take. After having done it once, I have some more concise thoughts in how I want to do this that I'm still gonna be happy with. But hi. I'm Joel. If I know that the odds of like anyone actually being a recurring returning viewer on this sort of thing is next to nothing. Um, so I'll just give you a quick little explanation. Um, this on this channel, holy cow, outdated bio, by the way. On this channel, uh, if you scroll through, you'll see that there's like a bunch of videos that are just like the date and like a little one liner, and it's like anywhere between like 5 minutes and what 22 minutes here, 25 minutes here, like some short to medium form content content. And what those videos consisted of was me basically doing what I'm doing right now, which is sitting down in front of a camera and talking about whatever is going on or a goal that I'm working towards. And usually, what spurred these like series on was something in my life was there was something that I was either working towards, or more likely there was something that was just that I was struggling with, that I needed to motivate and discipline myself into continuing. Um, and right now, I'm in one of these moments. This last year, 2025, and I know we're like a quarter of the way into, or we're a third of the way into, or through 2026, but talking about 2025 specifically is has been a big year for my life. I left my job in the IT industry to start a business with two very good friends in the film industry, and um, as amazing as that's been, it's also been very difficult and maybe not as productive as we would have hoped, or especially my parents would have hoped. Like we've made basically no money, and that it there's a lot of reasons for that, but I'm gonna take most of the blame because I feel like it is my fault. Like I was the the foundry of the idea behind the company, and I feel like as even though we're all equal part owners, I feel like I should take the responsibility for not leading the charge more and not being on the ball about it more. Um, and yeah, and so right right now my just noticed something on my monitor. Right now I feel like where I'm at is that um, I'm just kind of not being productive, and that's not good. And I want to work on that. And there's some other things as well. Like since leaving my IT job, I'll be very upfront. That job paid incredibly well for how young I was. I was making like $30+ an hour, working 40 plus hours a week at 19, and then 20. And so my relationship with money got really skewed, and now that I'm not making that, on I'm on a fixed income right now, which I'm very grateful to be able to have while I'm figuring my life out and while I'm trying to grow this business. Um, I've been very irresponsible, and a lot of the terrible habits from the IT job have kind of carried over, and I'm not proud of that. um, because of how well I was paid at that previous job, it made a lot more sense for me to order food most of the time. Because let me contextualize it this way. I'm incredibly ADHD, and something that I really struggle with is um, pre-planning meals or spending the time in the morning to prepare a meal. Um, Part of it is like I have always really struggled with sleep. Getting to sleep and waking up in the mornings have always been very difficult for me. And even at the best of times when I have like a pretty good schedule, in the mornings I am kind of miserable. Like I have very little energy for a couple hours until my medication kicks in, until like I'm fully awake, and it is terrible. And like I'm very not locked in on my personal, habits and stuff. And so instead of prioritizing, you know, making meals in the morning or making meals in the evening for the next day, I would, and like letting other things like hygiene and social life fall to the wayside. I was like, I'm going to prioritize those and let good meals fall to the wayside. And so when I was working this job, I was ordering basically every day because if you think about it, if I'm working and I'm making $30 an hour and I'm working 8+ hours a day, usually 9 to 10 a day, um, and a meal to order it costs say between 15 and 25, or like 15 and $30. As long as it's below $30, that is less than an hour of my time. Why would I waste the energy and like try and overcram my brain with like meal prep when I could just do that and still have a ton of take home money at the end of the day that I that like funds all the things that I want to do. Like the logic was pretty sound at the time. But the problem is that was my first real job outside of my university. So like I graduated high school, immediately went to university for a like certificate program for this specific IT field. And then right out of that got hired in the IT industry. And so that being my like only understand, like I've had some part-time jobs leading up to there, but it was mostly just for like that was like the fun like trips with friends and stuff. Uh, Think about how how like how skewed that will like how much that skews your understanding of money and like your value of money. And that is something that I'm still struggling with right now, is like, even though I'm not, I do, I'll be real, I do not have the finances to support that sort of lifestyle. Like my brain is like constantly like I'm busy right now, or I don't want to step away from what I'm doing. Let's just order in, or let's go out to get food, and it makes no sense. And so I want to get better at that. And part of what that, I don't know what that's going to look like in this format, but um, I'm going to use this to keep myself accountable there. I've seen some people, they'll do this thing where like every time they want to spend money, they'll like record themselves and they'll be like, they'll say like what the thing is. So like Costco rotisserie chicken, $5, and they'll end it, and then they'll just post that. And I don't think that that's right for me. At least I don't know if that's gonna actually help me, or if that's just gonna be like I'm gonna turn it into a joke of some sort. I just know my brain, so I gotta figure something out. But yeah, we'll figure that out. And part of and part of why I'm starting this up again is because the last night I was sitting in bed, and I was on YouTube, and then I saw this video here. It was like the I'm pretty sure that they changed the title since, um, but it like this is the thumbnail, and the title said something like how to stay in your how to stay committed to your forever world, or something like that. And it was like at about a minute into the video, he says
Simply just to revisit an old habit. Motivation is the spark. You can't open the nether portal without flint and steel. Motivation is that flint and steel. It starts something. But discipline is actually walking through the portal, the action. You need both to reach your end goal, but you can't fully rely on just the spark.
so. Upon hearing this, I immediately got like closed the video and was like, "That's stupid," but it absolutely was not stupid, because it's been living rent free in my head since last night. And uh, it's now 4:40 p.m. 4:40 p.m. And that it's so right. It's so real. And I feel like I have always hidden I've always shied behind the excuse of motivation when it comes to working on things that I'm passionate about. And I want to address that with this version of this series. Um, like I said, like I mentioned the two big things. I want like there's a lot of things, and I'm only going to talk about like three or four, um, because I think those are the most relevant right now. The first two I already mentioned. I really want to actually get my business going, and I want to be responsible for that. I want to put in the effort and stay disciplined. I want to be better with money, and so and that's going to be keeping myself accountable and not making stupid purchases. Because like I've tallied up the amount of money that I spend on food. If I put half of that away each month, I'd be like setting myself up really nicely, like in terms of investments, or even if it was like even if I didn't spend it on food and I just spent it on shit for my business, that would be such a better use of the money rather than something that I munch on for 15 minutes and then shit it out a couple hours later. Like yeah. Um so yeah. The other thing, as you may notice behind me, I have this wonderful Strat guitar behind me that I need to get a guitar stand. That I recently got. I got it like week and a half ago, and I've been loving it. And but the thing is, my motivation is waning. Uh, I the first couple of days I was playing for a couple hours every day, and like seeing some pretty significant improvements. Like I cannot play any songs. Like I can barely do a few chords here and there, and I'm just doing like scales practice most days. But I, that is something that I want to get better at because I've always really liked music. I hold on, let me pull something up very quickly. So like it's very cringe, but when I was younger, I did like I made some like SoundCloud beats, and they were absolutely terrible. I used like like a free version of FL Studio, so these were like single session beats and stuff that I was they were terrible. They had no actual mixing, and it was just the worst sounding garbage you could ever possibly listen to. Um, but like the reason I'm showing that is just I've always really liked making music, and I used in middle school I used to play flute, and then I stopped, and now I picked up a guitar because I wanted to play an instrument again, and drums are cool, but I don't think they're for me necessarily, like at least not as a main thing. Um, and like bass is cool, but I I like much prefer. I feel like when I think about like just like screwing around with an instrument like in my free time, like I can see myself doing it on a guitar, and that is much more appealing to me. But anyways, I want to commit to practicing this regularly, because it's the only way that you're going to get better. And the last thing is, I have a lot of ideas about like short films or YouTube videos or just like creative things in general that have just been sitting on my back burner that I've like I'm terrible when it comes to um just making things. Like this is my main YouTube channel. Geez, I forgot that this is the I need to update my profile picture and banner and about on these because it's old and it's terrible. But almost all of these videos, between the phone as a webcam to the 3DS video, have been like uber hyper scripted, with the exception of um the like Thanksgiving vlog, the Insanity vlog, and the LAN vlog. Though like everything else has been very highly scripted, and it's gotten to, and when I say scripted, I mean like over planned to the point of like script writing would take weeks, if not months, to find the right time for me to like the right time for me to shoot it would also take weeks. Then editing would take months. And for not for any good reason other than I was allowing myself to be a perfectionist about everything. And it's gotten to the point where I literally made a video on this struggle with motivation, where I was criticizing myself for doing this exact thing. And for a while I gotten out of the bubble. Like I made this like the Finding Peace short film. I did a couple other things that were for me, not that I haven't posted. Um, and then I fell back into the trap of over planning. And so I won't I I want to bring I want to go back to or not go back because I've never really done it, but I want to start being more more impromptu, not more impromptu, less overproduced. Because that's like, if I think about it logically, that's what my film business is for. Like the doing stuff in film is where you're allowed to be like a perfectionist because you want to make it really really good and really high quality. Because or like it doesn't even always have to be that, but it's just like film is where more planning generally is beneficial, but YouTube doesn't have to be that. And I think now that I have I'm standing in between both of these worlds. It makes no sense for me to not just make things for YouTube. Just like when I have the ideas, like I'll tell you about one of the ideas that I have that has been sitting not being made for a while. Um, January of 2025, I unfortunately was in a car crash that resulted in my Honda Civic that was featured in the Finding Peace film to be totaled out. It was very unfortunate. I walked away okay, thankfully. I just my ribs were bruised for a couple weeks, and that sucked. But I'm okay. No one else was hurt. It was just a very unfortunate situation where I lost traction because of some ice that I couldn't see and went into a ditch. Um, Thankfully, though, I was able to get a new car that I'm very proud of, a 2017 Mazda 3 GT. Um, I love that car so much, so much, and I have so many ideas for what I want to do with this car. And one of these ideas is I want to make like a Top Gear slash Doug DeMuro slash, uh, you know, what's this? I feel so bad. Like Marquez Brownlee autofocus style, um, like review on it and kind of on the four-cylinder hot hatch genre in general, because I feel like I've just been seeing so many people in my generation writing off all these amazing cars just because like BMWs are really big right now. Um, like there are so many people my age who are like taking out ridiculous loans to get like M3s, M4s, M2s, like when they like, and their perception of like what a good car is is it S55, S58, or B58 powered, and that doesn't have to be the only thing. And so, anyways, oh, sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Bringing this back into what the video is, I want to do like a review of this car and a little bit of like why four cylinders are still cool. And I have bullet point notes, basically enough to get this video made, but I haven't. And I've had these notes and like this this framework ready to go for a couple months. And part of why I haven't is because in the back of my brain I've been like, but it needs to be perfect. And oh my goodness, can my phone shut up? Sorry. Let me mute this. And so the ideas like that I am super about. Like I like every part of my being is like I want to make this, but it's just not happening because I'm being a perfectionist and I'm being stubborn about things. I want to improve at that. I want to just make the cool ideas that I have and not overproduce them because they don't need to be, especially for YouTube. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. And I want to I know it's like I don't know where it's gonna fit in or how, but I kind of I've been saying to my friends I kind of want to like do like a vlog again, but I feel like I don't have that interesting life. Except when I do interesting things, I'm like, damn, I wish I had my camera with me. And so I think part of that, I think I might have even mentioned it in like the past videos on this channel, but it's like, why don't I just keep a camera with me most of the time? Doesn't even have to be anything planned. And so yeah, that's kind of it. That's this video. It's I don't okay. I If you've made it this far, first of all, why? Um, this is not the series is like the most anti algorithm thing ever. There's not like there's gonna be the pre-generated thumbnail. It's gonna be today's date and like some stupid one liner. And yeah, so if you've made it this far, first of all, thank you, because you're a real one. But if you've made it this far, I hope that if you are in a similar situation to me where you're really struggling uh, to make that differentiation between motivation um, and discipline, that maybe this can help you. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to have something at least weekly, if not bi-weekly. We'll see. But yeah, my name is Joel. You can find me here or on my main channel. I still sometimes stream. You'll see, you'll see me around if you care. But yeah, thanks for watching.